What is going on, guys? Picking up where the last video left off, we got a 350Z, and we're very excited about it. When I say we, I mean me and Tucker, because Tucker brought it to me all the way up in Kentucky, drove 12 hours in this beast, and it did great. So now we're going to throw a bunch of parts at it. And for starters, we've got a whole bunch of stuff from ISR. And Tucker took the diff to Injuku, got it welded up. They recommended us some Redline 7590. We ran some really shitty gear oil through it first to just kind of wash out any excess BBs or bullshit that could be in the diff. That could, we don't want our expensive gear oil, is what I'm getting at. So let's talk about some parts. So this is all the Pro Series ISR stuff. So these are ISR rear camber arms, and we'll open these up in a minute, show you guys. We got ISR Pro Series front upper camber arms. Our favorite, subframe bushings.
Not my favorite.
Yeah, not our favorite. We're about to kill ourselves today, probably. I might go do monetize some series. Let's see what we got here. We got Pro Series rear bucket delete toe arms. Look how long these things are.
Straps.
Toe straps. Fittings for the handbrake. ISR brake lines, which you can use them for brake lines or you can use them for handbrake lines. And then exhaust. Now the cool thing about this exhaust is that we can utilize it with the VQ motor, and then when we swap to the LS, it will work with the LS also, so we don't have to get two exhausts, which is great. And I think that's very beneficial for people that are thinking about swapping their car, but they're not ready to spend all their money and all their savings to put an LS in it. So get the exhaust while you get the stock motor, and then swap it over when you do the engine swap. Where are we going?
Parts store.
What are we getting?
Wheel lug key.
And so, subframe removal, probably one of the least eventful and fun things that you could do. First things first, we're going to pull this exhaust, and then we're going to start ticking away at the parts that are attached to the chassis. You guys ever heard of VQ with no exhaust?
You want to?
Yeah, you want it? Here's my bumper. Alright. Well, that's it for this video, guys. Thanks for watching. So we ran into a little bit of a problem with putting the new ISR exhaust on. The problem is that it's made to meet up with a stock downpipe from a VQ, and whoever had this car before me put an exhaust on it. It sounds like shit, looks like shit, but it's not going to mount up how I wanted it to. So gotta figure something out. Not sure what we're gonna do yet, but first things first, let's get the subframe out and get these bushings pressed out and the new ones pressed in. So we're waiting for a tool to get here, and in the meantime we ripped this wing off, and I didn't film it because I wasn't really sure how it was attached, and I was hoping that it was just adhesive to it, but they decided to drill huge holes for mounting this terrible wing. It's for sale also. If you want this terrible wing, you can have it. But yeah, drilled these terrible holes and ruined the paint. So now a whole nother project, a whole nother video. Tucker and I will be, or me, depends on if he's here or not, we'll be cleaning this up, filling these holes, and repainting these sections. Probably just going to do a little DIY spray paint job on the hatch. The car's probably going to end up getting wrapped or paint it a different color anyways, but this is terrible. I want to drive this car on the street, and I don't want it to look like shit, so this is unacceptable. So, we've got, what do we got left? Nothing?
Yeah, drop it.
Alright, let's drop the subframe out, and took longer than we thought. We needed a deeper socket, so we went and got the super deep 19, and that helped. So she's about to come out, leak a little bit of brake fluid, pull it out. Subframe is out, diff and axle still intact, we don't even need to mess with that. Tucker actually already installed our ISR diff bushings, so our only job is to replace these guys. And then unfortunately my new shocks aren't here yet, which is, you know, would be a good time to put them in right now, but it is what it is, and they'll go in pretty easy. They're a true coilover that we are replacing it with. So, yeah. Ready for bushing time?
No.
Oh, no. Like, Tucker didn't put this diff bushing in because it's such a pain in the ass with the subframe in, but we're too lazy to pull the diff out again, so we're just gonna leave this one. Fuck it.
We got it. Let's do it.
You want to pull the diff?
Alright, no, I don't.
You have to pull the diff. Yeah, so let's do some, we got a Sawzall, some map gas, and some ambition, and we're gonna make this happen here. Yeah, Peach. You still only have to do this one time, you know? Switch the sides. I know people have different methods for removing subframe bushings. I'll wait till Tucker's done. So my method has always been hold on, one second. Burn out the center and then cut with a Sawzall the metal edge of the bushing and let it collapse on itself and push it out. It's sometimes really easy, sometimes it's more of a pain in the ass. This is mid-grade. Yeah, I've had worse. So I was trying to film more, but there's been yard work going on for like hours. So you saw us burning out the old ones. The way that I like to do it, which actually I already told you guys how I like to do it. The way I showed you guys how to take out these bushings, it works pretty good. We did it in probably 40 minutes. The time-consuming part is burning them. Getting them hot enough. So we've got our ISR diff bushings right here in the back. Subframe bushings. This is actually flipped over right now, so it would actually rotate forward to go in the car. This is where the nuts attach to the studs on this side, and then we'll slip our collars, look like this. Slip these collars in up top to give it a nice spacing, and then these go at the very top between the subframe collar and the chassis to try to help with some vibration. We're going to put them in even though we don't really give a shit about that, but might as well use everything that's supplied with the ISR bushing kit. All right, Tucker, I hit in the other three. Let's see if you can get one in. Oh, it's sideways already! I'm gonna be honest with you guys, I had this shit in 3 swings. Took me 3 seconds, 1 second per swing. You know, if you hit it evenly, it would go in easier. If you would hit it evenly the whole time. All right, bushings are in. Let's go home. See you guys tomorrow. All right, day 2 of subframe bushings and chill. We decided to pull the stock e-brake lines out. They were so stretched out, it didn't even work. It wasn't worth tightening up. And we have a new Villains hydro coming, so we just took out the whole assembly and the lines since the subframe's out. Also, check these things out. 18 by 9.5 plus 25 squared. Running the Accelera 651 Sport 235/40 18 up front, and the Accelera PHI 255/35 18 XL in the rear. The reason I'm running a different tire in the rear is this tire is very, very, very grippy. It's great in the rear when you have something with some horsepower like an LS. This is a much harder compound, but they last forever, and the VQ should have no problem spinning them. So that's what we're running in the back. And I haven't really got a chance to test them out, so we're going to talk about the differences in drivability between these tires once they're on the car. So, super excited about that. I don't know how it's going to look with the suspension that's on the car. It's like Nismo suspension, lowering springs. Doesn't look the best. Not as good as my new BC shocks are going to look. This thing's almost ready to go back up. We're just going to pull the stock arms off. We have a good alignment, really good tire wear on the tires that were on it, so we think the alignment's pretty good. So we're going to use the length of the stock arms to measure our ISR arms and throw those on the subframe, and then it'll go back up. So we should be back on the road today with the new arms, new bushings, new wheels, new tires. So we unwrapped all of our Pro Series ISR arms. These are front camber arms because I'm not running like a WiseFab setup and we're going with that GK Tech kit. These are going to give us the adjustability for the camber up top, and the GK Tech stuff is going to be on the lower arm. In the back, pretty simple. These are the camber arms, and then these are the toe arms. But what these arms replace are these big bucket arms for the spring, the stock suspension, but we're going to be running a true coilover that's going to run off of this part of the knuckle. And since our shocks aren't here yet, unfortunately, we cannot replace this arm. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to throw up these rubber, these little rubber pieces that came with the ISR subframe bushing kit. And I threw a little bit of grease on them because I'm going to slide this up, and that grease is going to hold it in place so it doesn't slide down on us. These are going to help with some vibration. Boom, boom, boom. Now that the subframe's up, we just got a couple more things to button up. Brake lines, drive shaft, exhaust, and these stupid shocks that I wish we were replacing right now. But yeah, not much longer. And then get to see what the car looks like with our new wheels on it. Ooh. So this is the OEM 350Z arm. These are our new ISR Performance Pro Series arms. What we're going to do is we're going to make them the same length because, like I said, tire wear on this car is pretty good, which means the alignment's probably pretty close. I'll throw it on a rack here in the near future, but just to get it driving again and make sure that everything that we've you know, done works correctly. We had the entire back half of the car apart, so we want to make sure that everything works good, so we need it to be in driving order. Arms are going on right now, the old ones are off, and then exhaust.
I'm admiring the view.
Yeah, the view here is beautiful. Check this out. There might not be very much to do here in middle of nowhere Kentucky, but damn is it beautiful. It's beautiful. Anyways, yeah, exhaust right here, throw that on. And if you're wondering where these camber arms are on the 350Z, they go from the bottom of the knuckle over here to the subframe. That's a sway bar dangling out of the way so we get our bolt out. Yeah, pretty simple though. So you may wonder what the frick I'm doing. What I'm doing is taking out the stock handbrake stuff. This is a drum style, similar to like an E36. This is a Florida car, so we're lucky that we have no rust anywhere else, like chassis wise. There isn't. Jeez, I've seen better days. So yeah, I'm just removing all the stock e-brake stuff since we're not using it. Not to say that like a stock drum style handbrake is not good, and if you have one in your car, you can actually adjust it back here. Probably should have showed you how to do that before I took all this apart, but basically there's these springs that hold it together, and there's this guy here. If you spin this, it'll tighten the springs. I don't know, I can't remember which way, but anyways, you're gonna spin this, and it's a bitch, and you have to use like a flathead, and you just a little bit at a time when it's actually on the car, and it'll tighten up your handbrake. You can also adjust it, the cable up top, by the actual handle right here, where the cable comes through. Cable comes through here, and there's a little 10 mil nut on it. You can tighten that up, and that'll help also. So cable, handbrakes, nothing wrong with them. People like Chelsea Denofa, he loves cables, and there's nothing wrong with it. So before we put our new handbrake in, which we don't have it yet, I ordered one from Villains. I like this mostly because it comes with a Quan grip on it. But I'm going to throw some new pads and new rotors on this thing. I'm going to use the same pads that we use in the school cars, which I don't know what they are. But I'm going to ask Chelsea and I'm going to order those because they are the shit. And then rotors, probably just some AutoZone cheap rotors. Rotors don't matter as much as pads. So these pads, you can see here, they have some life left in them. But I don't think they're the best, and I think that they are old and they should be replaced. So we're going to do that when the handbrake gets here. So we're about to, I'm going to throw the bolts back into this, and then we're going to move straight into throwing the exhaust on and then wheels. Super bummed we can't put our ISR exhaust on right now, but this will do. What did you need?
12.
12? I can almost see up your shorts, dude. See your little hang dang. Tucker locked the keys in the car. We're bleeding the brakes right now. Dude, don't get the interior dirty.
That's too late.
Well, we're running out of sunlight here, so I'll try to finish this up quick. The car looks pretty good. Didn't get quite like everything that we wanted to get done, but we got a lot done. It's Tucker's last full day here, so I'm just gonna kind of give you guys a little walk around here. I'm dirty, tired, going home. Thanks for watching this 2-day video, and hopefully some more parts will show up this week and we can get into some more stuff. I think next is going to be interior stuff, NRG. New seats, steering wheel, lots of goodies, and yeah, see you then. Peace.